We are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, TDC, I don't know. I mean, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that sounds right, right? We are leaving the TDC now. There is no last minute surprise. I guess they could. Yeah, hold on. Let me take a step back. Many celebrations have done that before, right? Like Super Easy Int UI Goku was in the same day to download as Deborah. Deborah was the next celebration character, but UI Goku was an 11th anniversary character, right? So we have seen stuff like that. TDC, I mean, it is the third biggest celebration of the year. I don't know what it is, but it did not feel that way. You guys know what I'm talking about, man. It did not feel like the third biggest celebration of the year. For whatever reason, it didn't. So, maybe a last, hype super easy or something with the data download for the next Dokkan Fest could be pretty cool. Sure. So, as we sit right here, I'm doing this a little bit early, but I mean, we never know. We might get like a hint or something like that. So I think it's good to do this a tad early. Again, hints. I don't really predict like when hints are going to come or anything like that because they kind of are a little randomish, I think. So I'm not really like ever like, oh, the hint is tonight. Like it's, the hint happens, I'll be there, but we'll see. So we know, by the way, let me actually pull this up, when the next Dokkan Fest is. It is on the 29th. And I mean, I think sales end on the 28th. Oh, now that I said that, I do like to show it on screen here. We'll grab that. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we have our two notable details right here, right? So right here, this is the sales end on the 28th. And then right here, the summon point lineup is going to be updated on the 29th. So that should be the banner day, right? That's when the summon points get updated. That's when it's going to happen. Now, they did this before. They tricked us. They pulled a fast one on us. Geppy pulled a fast one on us where it's like they had announced months in advance when the summon point lineup was going to update July 21st. And then it was, I mean, what, like July 10th? Here, oh, wait, it's right on screen. Yeah, July 10th. Where they announced that the summon point. No, I think it was actually a day earlier on JP. I remember I was playing LA Noir and I was reading it. I was like, what is it saying? This right here. Yeah, this is the 9th. The 9th is when it happened. And then for some reason the news on Global was the next day. Don't ask me. I don't know. But they announced that they're going to change the date from the 21st to the 29th, right? So I guess maybe like super early on, the 21st was like a placeholder date for Cell Max. But then as, it got closer, the day they finalized Cell Max's release was the 14th, I guess, is what we could kind of assume happened here, right? So now that the summon points are dropping on the 29th, I don't believe they're going to do another change, a couple of days beforehand. 29th, that's the day of the banner. Sales end the day before. I think it's pretty crystal clear that the banner's on the 29th. So what that means is, normal timing and shit like that, we should be getting our details and our reveal of who it is outside of a hint, right? But again, I don't really make predictions of, I think hints are coming or when hints are coming or anything like that. 27th is when I'm thinking we will see the details for the next Dokkan Fest here. So here's what this slot has been the last several years. I mean, you guys might notice we do have a legendary old-time character in this slot. Tech Ultimate Gohan is a legendary. Like, I mean, he probably is just a mistake, honestly. They just didn't realize what they created. Because, I mean, he was still good in 2022 era Red Zone stages, which is not their intention with Dokkan Fest TURs to still be that effective 2 years later. No way. So these are what we got here. Now, keep in mind, last year's a little bit different because this Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, they were essentially part of GDC as GDC was ending. I don't, we're not really anticipating like an LR in this slot. I think it'll just be a TUR. We'll get our Peppy Gal banner, probably, I don't know. Will it be the 10th to 13th or will it be the 17th to 20th? one of those 2 weeks will be the Peppy Gal banner. Um, Considering the countdown is dropping like right around here, I guess it could be when the Peppy Gal stuff would happen would be this week, 17th to 20th. But again, it could be the 10th to the 13th. Like one of those 2 weeks is when we'll get Peppy Gal stuff actually happening, right? So I guess we could just quickly look at some of the dates for these characters, talk about them a little bit. And I do have one character predict, like I've got my one prediction. I guess I could bring up some other characters too, some other possibilities. So let's look at some of these dates right here. So Android 17 was July 31st, 2018. I remember I was playing Resident Evil Code Veronica back then, which is very fun. Um, so this guy came out. Remember, Android 21 is who they showed in V-Jump. 17 ended up being the Dokkan Fest. 17 actually had a Part 2 LR, but they will not be doing it. They only did a Part 2 LR for this time slot in 2018, and it was the LR Cell and Cell Juniors was a Part 2 LR for this guy. Matter of fact, I'll pull him up quickly just so you guys see. Right here. This guy. This guy was like August 10th or something. August 9th, 2018 was LR Cell and Cell Juniors. But 2018, the worldwide download celebration was 2 TURs. The Transforming Goku and the Transforming Frieza. So they went TUR, LR, 2 TURs, and then 1 LR for part 2 of Worldwide Download Celebration, Goku and Frieza. Was the LR, and then separate Goku and Frieza were the TURs, right? So 17 did have a part 2 LR. Pretty fun celebration, right? The introduction of the fighters stuff into the game. So that was July 31st. Then the next year was Piccolo, our first Dokkan Fest Piccolo, July 30th. Remember Mr. Defensive Stacker himself. Very fun. Back then, it was like, how could they even make Namekians a real team? Nowadays, obviously, Piccolo has multiple transformations, which did not exist back in 2019 when this guy came out, which is very fun to think about. And then, of course, in 2020, the God dropped the 31st of 2020. Now, this is notable with these two characters. We'll talk about this. 17. Oh, 17 really did have a connection to Worldwide because it was kind of Goku and Frieza who fight at Baba's Palace, and then Part 2 LR was them finishing the Tournament of Power. So 17 actually did tie into that. In 2019, Piccolo, Android Cell Saga, the Worldwide Download Celebration, was Gohan and Cell, right? And then in 2020, we get Tech Ultimate Gohan. The Worldwide Download Celebration, which is the next celebration, was Super Vegito and Buhan, right? So this guy was the 31st of 2020. But then they broke that pattern in 2021 with Super Vegeta, who was the 30th of July 2021 right there. Super Vegeta, okay? Because remember, the worldwide was Namek, actually. Which that's what I anticipate this year's part 1 will be, by the way, Namek. And we'll talk about that more in 2 seconds with my prediction for the next Dokkan Fest. In 2022, it was Tak Pan-chan here. She was July 29th. Obviously, Pan is an outstanding character, right? Meow. And worldwide was the Cooler movies. So Pan didn't really have much of a connection to the Cooler movie worldwide. In 2023, oh my god, dude. Whew. This is lost in time as, the worst celebration in Dokkan history in terms of character strength and effectiveness. Just a brutal celebration, right? Super Trunks. I hated this guy so much, so I'm rooting heavily for this guy to be a great Dokkan Fest. I am very optimistic that this guy could get a great Dokkan Fest. July 31st, 2023 is when this guy dropped. Now, this guy actually kind of low-key does have a bit of a connection to the worldwide, which was Vegito Blue, Fusion Zamasu, Sword of Hope Trunks, and Future Gohan. Remember, this guy was so heavily tied towards Android Cell Saga, but, LR Future Gohan was a top 3 character in the game, right? And, Sword of Hope Trunks, you could try and get, some sort of, match with the Trunkses together. So, he did have a bit of a connection to Worldwide right there, with that. All right, so that's, here, let's go back to JP. That was the 31st of 2023. Then 2024 was Master Roshi, July 31st, 2024. This guy had no connection whatsoever in any way to Worldwide, which is the Broly movie Worldwide. This is not even Master Roshi from like the movies or anything, right? Like literally no connection whatsoever. Just a random one-off Dokkan Fest, right? One of the very few OG Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Saga premium characters we have. He was fun, but his team was very reliant on the UI Gokus to dodge everything, and if they didn't, you lost, right? So there's that. And then last year, remember, was what worked a little bit differently. Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, they were a GDC character, and it was a little bit back, but this is the same time slot release, right? Even though it's a little bit of a week later, but that's just because everything was pushed back a week last year because they wanted to match up GDC with the global anniversary day, which is July 7th, right? We talked about that extensively last year. Well, this year, Tanabata, they dropped at the normal time, so everything is basically pushed up like 1 week, right? So this character, yeah, I don't expect the 2026 character to be an LR. I don't think so. I mean, I've been wrong many times before, but I don't think so. So what I'm thinking we're probably going to see in terms of the next Dokkan Fest, they did announce this right here, right? That they're going to be doing adjustments to Lude. That's because we got LR Lude. And then they also made adjustments to Kid Gohan, right? Now, people saw this and they go, what the fuck? So they can change names? Yeah, see, right here. Yep, they won't do this for Tech Fusion Zamasu. Well, I mean, here's the thing. All the Fusion Zamasu is just called Fusion Zamasu. This in-game is already a thing. This Gohan was just labeled incorrectly, right? Because if we take a look at it, Gohan, it's on JP. There we go. Kid Gohan, I spelled it wrong, is, Raditz, Namek, movies. Yeah, damn, he's actually Kid Gohan all the way up to the Metal Cooler movie, yeah. And then in the Broly movie, he's, Youth Gohan. But Kid Gohan is, this version of Gohan. That's fighting Raditz and is on Namek and all that. Youth Gohan is the one that fought Cell and Broly and shit. This version of Gohan, right? Did they wait, is this Gohan is called Gohan Youth? Oh, that's so interesting. I feel like he should be called Kid Gohan. Well, I guess this one is also called Gohan Youth. So I guess they really, because I kind of thought that the turning point for that was the when they go in the time chamber, and then Gohan, remember, Gohan does grow in the time chamber. He is taller when he leaves, and he, is Super Saiyan, and then he learned the Kamehameha from Goku. Remember, the first Kamehameha Gohan does is the standing Kamehameha, or is that I think that's what it's called. But it's who does it? I mean, it's this guy does it right here. It's his counter. Oh god, here we go. The second I go off on a tangent. Yeah, right here. This is the first Kamehameha that Gohan does. Right when Cell is in the sky shooting the Kamehameha at him, and Gohan fires one back. That's the first one he does. Right, he learns that from Goku in the time chamber. Right. So Gohan Youth is this version. All they were doing here is correcting it. That is not Gohan Youth, it's Gohan Kid. It's a Saiyan Saga Kid Gohan, right? So if we jump over here, we're in the version Z, the Saiyan Saga Dragon Ball story, and you fight this Kid Gohan right here, and they updated it to be Kid Gohan. Now, why would they do that? Why would they now update this year? This is like 10 years later. This Great Ape, I mean, we fought him as early as, like, this guy was in the game when I first started playing. So, like, this guy is at least 2016, at minimum, when they added this into the game. And they're only fixing his name now. Why is that? Because he's about to be a character. That, literally, I know someone would show, nope, you're looking too much into it. You're wrong. They do this all the time in Dokkan and Legends, right? They fix a mechanic in Legends that's not working correctly. It's probably going to be on an upcoming character, right? They do some shit like this. It's going to be on an upcoming character, right? So, Kid Gohan, Great Ape, which is good. This doesn't exist, by the way. Like Gohan Kid Giant Ape is not a character we could use. Like a Gohan that transforms into Great Ape. The only, I mean, it happens when Turles is active, and then there's this Kid Gohan, but it's only his active skill. The LR right here, right? This is him when he goes Great Ape the very first time, right here. What I think is gonna happen with the Dokkan Fest, I think it's gonna be Kid Gohan going Great Ape at the end of the Saiyan saga, beating Vegeta, because it is Kid Gohan going into the Giant Ape. That's how Vegeta is finally defeated at the end, right? Can you? Yeah, you can't even really see it, but we could see it right here. This is because this is Gohan from the end of the Saiyan saga, right? That like this is his look going into the battle with the Saiyans, right? So that's what I think we're gonna get. I think it's gonna be Gohan Kid Giant Ape end of the Saiyan saga, and then we're gonna go part 1 GDC Namek saga, part 2 GDC Cell saga, Gohan Cell, part 3 GDC Tag Goku Vegeta, and then the introduction finally of LR Kid Buu. I think that's what we're doing. So they do this Dokkan Fest as Saiyan Saga, and we go right through Z, leading to the Dragon Ball Super remake. How about that? So we go Saiyan Saga, Namek Saga, Cell Saga, Majin Buu Saga, and then right into Super remake. Boom. Duh. It's right there on a fucking T, a silver platter. It's so obvious, so obvious. Yeah, Geppy is, you're not slick. Like I could see, dude, Geppy. I could see through him. I could see through him. I see the plan in action. It's so obvious. And everyone is crying, oh my god, they made Namek Goku a free-to-play character. And Geppy's like laughing. He's like, yeah, you fuckers didn't see the Dokkan original Namek Goku coming up yet, did you, dumbasses? Yeah, Geppy's laughing. He's laughing at us. And you guys are letting him get away with it. All right? So it's coming. I mean, just some other options I could throw out if it's not going to be Kid Gohan. I do think the time has got to be coming for Tien to get one, or Krillin. And this feels like the perfect time for either of them to get their Dokkan Fest. I do have very high expectations for GDC, so I think it would be smart for Dokkan to drop something like Dokkan Fest Tien, Dokkan Fest Krillin, Dokkan Fest Kid Gohan, right? Which is not like got people going, oh my god, you know. They're not doing the Joe Rogan gif over Kid Gohan Dokkan Fest, right? But, you know, over what's coming for GDC, people will. So there we go. Let me know what you guys think. And very soon we'll know what's going to come out for this time slot in 2026.